In the Oklahoman newsroom, this is an OSU update. I'm Jenny Carlson. The Cowboys have seen a dramatic uptick in players that they're getting from really the SEC part of the country, and Kyle Fredrickson joins us on the phone. Kyle, there's been one coach that's been really behind this push to get more players from that southern region, but is not really a name that a lot of us know. He's not even a full-time assistant. Who is this guy?
That's right. I think Cowboys fans have been very happy to see OSU snag some of these players from Mississippi, Georgia, and Louisiana over the past few seasons, and a lot of it goes back to a coach named Eric Henderson. For the past 2 seasons, he's been a GA. This year, he moves into a defensive quality control coach position. But in either role, he's been really important for OSU in terms of landing a lot of these kids, just based on his background. He grew up in New Orleans, kind of in that inner city area, went on to play for Glenn Spencer at Georgia Tech back when Glenn Spencer was the defensive line coach there, became an all-ACC performer and even had a short stint in the NFL. Now he's back on OSU's staff thanks to Spencer, kind of seeking him out after Henderson's playing days were over, to really come to OSU and help establish a solid recruiting base in that region, and he's certainly done a good job of that so far. And he's a guy that Mike Gundy said, it's only a matter of time before he gets hired on full time somewhere. Whether that's OSU or somewhere else is yet to be seen. But he kind of has that charisma of a guy who's been through a lot in his life and can relay that to some of these young kids and kind of, put them in his shoes to see how he was able to come from really nothing to getting his chance in the NFL.
Well, I think I used the word dramatic uptick, or the words dramatic uptick, when I described the numbers that Oklahoma State is getting from that area compared to where it was before. Break that down for us a little bit, Kyle. What exactly are we seeing in the numbers when it comes to guys coming from those 3 states?
Well, right, and it's not as if OSU wasn't able to land a few kids from that southeastern region in the past. From 2010 to 2012, they had in those signing classes they had 3 guys from Mississippi, Georgia, and Louisiana to sign on. But ever since Henderson's joined the staff, it's skyrocketed. So from 2013 to 2015, OSU's landed 11 kids from that region. And even in this upcoming recruiting class, they've had 2 commits verbally signed on in Rodarius Williams out of Shreveport, Louisiana, and Devin Harper out of Knoxville, Tennessee. So 2 guys who've also used this Henderson connection to get on board. Now, there are some other factors that have contributed, with OSU's rise to national prominence. Its brand has grown, and I think people in that area are just, more in tune to what they're doing just based on their success. But, with a guy like Henderson, who Gundy says kind of speaks the language of the kids in that area, he's been a really key part in seeing that number rise.
Be sure to check out Kyle's story on Eric Henderson in the coming days in the Oklahoman and on News OK. And be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.